Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide. In today's video, I'm going to be addressing the Boox Tab Ultra. This is my Tab Ultra that I've purchased, I think back in November when it came out. And I have a problem with this device now after November, December, almost 6 months. But before we go on to the problem, I would like to ask you to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you like the work that I do. Also ding the notification bell to get notified when new videos come out on My Deep Guide. This really does help the channel along quite considerably, so thank you if you do so. Also, if you would like to help out the channel some more and help the channel keep its independence, do check out the mydeepguide.com/shop and you can find My Daily Organizer, or MDO for short. What is MDO? MDO is a hyperlinked PDF file, which is an organizer that can help you organize and plan your personal or professional needs in yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily fashion, including a daily diary as well, and tons of other things. In order to find out more details, you can actually find the MDO playlist in the description below, where you can find tons of videos and tons of information which will help you understand if MDO is the right product for you or not. And now, let's check out what's the problem with the Tab Ultra for me. Well, as I mentioned, I've had it now close to 6 months, almost 6 months, but I think it's actually 6 months. And I've been using it. The device of my choice, my preference, before Tab Ultra was Note Air 1, and I've had it for well over 2 years. All the way up until I've gotten the Tab Ultra, with the idea that, you know, it replaces my Note Air and that's it. However, that's not what happened in reality, and that's what actually surprised me, because on paper, the Tab Ultra is a fantastic device. It's a really fast one, it's really good, and everything's like, on paper, it's great. But it doesn't fit me. And there's like several things and several questions that I've had. It's like, first one is, I have no emotional connection to it. With the Note Air 1, I had an immediate emotional connection to it. I loved the stylishness of it and everything. Tab Ultra, not so much. Is it bland? Is it, dare I say, boring? I think it is. I mean, it has this kind of like hip-looking stuff on the back, but ultimately, it's just another tablet. Note Air 1, 2, Note Air 2 Plus, they were not just another tablet. They were different. They were not bland. Tab Ultra is bland and kind of boring. The second thing is very closely related to the other one, and it's part of the thing that kind of annoys me, and it's not going to be for other people, definitely. I'm just saying it from my perspective, in my own personal case. It has no flavor. It's like not even vanilla, while the Note Air is like strawberry or pistachios or caramel or something like that. It's like you get it and you have that orange kind of stripe and you have the blue and the rounded lines and the thinness, and it just is so nice and so sexy. It's like, ooh, cool, exciting, zing, zag, it's nice. This you pick up is like, it's like watered down vanilla. That's the flavor of the Tab Ultra. It doesn't excite me whatsoever to handle it and to kind of use it. And that's a problem for me, for sure. Then two more objective things. The protruding camera thing, it's not something that I was able to get used to after 6 months. So much so that I freaking hate this. I really hate that protruding camera, and it's like maybe 50% of ruining my usability experience of this tablet. Sure, I get the flappy thing here and then it kind of compensates, but why? It still bothers me that I know that I can't take it out of there and just use it normally without it rocking and making that sound whenever I try to interact with it. It's just, and I never use the camera. Absolutely never use that camera. Nor will I use it. I know some people will, but I don't need it. I wish there was a Boox Ultra without the camera. That would have been much more fair, and with the anti-slip pads on the back. So yeah, the sharp edges are also something that I'm not getting used to over time at all, and actually on the contrary, it's bothering me when I'm writing. I slide around along those edges and it is bothering me. It's not something that I can, and it's not something that I want to get used to. It's not okay. It's not fine at all. The writing surface is something that I don't want to get used to either. As I mentioned, it's a smooth one. There's nothing inherently wrong with it, but it is a smooth and not paper-like experience whatsoever. Unlike the Note Air 2 or the Note Air 2 Plus, where that is built into the device and it feels awesome and it looks great. So, yeah. What also doesn't help the Tab Ultra's case is that the software on it is actually a downgrade and a step back when you compare it to the Note Air 1, Note Air 2, Note Air 2 Plus. Because, you don't have the keyboard options, you don't have the smoothing out of the lines, and there's the power options and things like that are all lacking, which is kind of mind-blowing. And sure, by the time when you watch this video, the 3.3.2 update has come out and has addressed the keyboard layouts and the power issues. Those have been addressed, but the smoothing of the lines in writing still has not been addressed and is mysteriously lacking from both the Tab Ultra and the Tab X. Though I prefer Tab X more because it doesn't have all of these things going against it, but the Tab Ultra, it really doesn't help its case that the software is still a step back. Why? Why exactly? So after owning it for almost half a year exactly, I am still completely unable to transition to it. It's there, it's looking at me, but I'm not reaching out to it. And that's a big problem for me, especially for a very pricey device like this one. And it's not just that I'm not reaching out to it, it's all the stuff that I've mentioned in real life is bothering me to such an extent that I'm very seriously contemplating to sell it in order to buy the Note Air 2 or the Note Air 2 Plus. But at the same time, I know that there is a high likelihood that by the end of the year we might see an Air line of devices that's not going to have the stupid camera, that's not going to have horrible edges and all of these things. It's just basically, let's just have Note Air 3, which is going to be a Tab Air or Note Tab Air or whatever you want to call it, but Note Air 3 housing or Note Air housing with the GPU in there. That and the paper-like surface like that we have it on the 2 and the 2 Plus, that would be a perfect combination for me. But there's an uncertainty about it, so maybe it will come out, maybe it will be just another thing with the same problems, with the same camera, with the same sharp edges, with everything the same. That's the problem with the Boox actually not communicating about their plans and their hardware roadmap, and that leaves buyers in this kind of weird kind of limbo, which is not a good place to be at. So the end result of me actually buying the Tab Ultra because of its performance, undeniable, superior performance to any other e-ink device out there, superior screen performance, superior ghosting performance, superior overall performance. It has an SD card slot. It's a monster. It's an amazing device on paper because of the clearly superior performance of the Tab Ultra over my old Note Air 1, I'm no longer using the Note Air 1 because whenever I do use it, it's too slow. And it's like, it doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't I use the Tab Ultra? And whenever I want to use the Tab Ultra, I do get the performance, but I get all of these annoyances, none of which I have on a Note Air 1, and then I end up not using either one of those two. Instead, what happens, that's the surprise, I keep reaching out to other devices that I own that don't have any of these issues and they don't put me in this kind of dilemma. And that is something that I most definitely did not expect to happen by purchasing the flagship superior device, which objectively, it is superior to all of these devices. But it doesn't fit me. And that makes me sad because I've used my Note Air 1 for a very long time and I loved it from the day one and I still love it, but I can't really use it because it's a little bit too slow. Objectively, it's slower than Note Air 2, slower than Note Air 2 Plus. It's definitely a lot slower than the Tab Ultra. But the time that I spent with my Note Air 1, it felt like an extension of me. It was my go-to device. It was just, I never thought about anything. It just worked. What didn't help all of that together is that the OS 3 version came out on the Note Air 1 as well and ruined the experience as well, because it was not just the Tab Ultra series that was affected by the upgrade to OS 3. It's just ever since they went to OS 3, things have just not been right. And they don't feel good, and the direction is, as I mentioned before, it's kind of aimless, and it just is kind of starting to lose an identity, and I don't get it. It's not inviting to use anymore, for me at least. So I can't go back to using the Note Air 1 because it no longer exists because of the OS update as well. Even if I wanted to, the OS update on top of it has changed the experience to such an extent that I no longer want to use it because of those changes. So I remain in this really weird limbo. I don't reach out towards the Tab Ultra because it doesn't inspire me and it pisses me off in certain aspects that I've covered in this video. And I don't reach out to the Note Air 1 because it's too slow. It's no longer the usability experience that I've had before because of the OS 3.1, 2, 3. And so what ended up happening was that actually I started reaching out to another device, and without me thinking about it, I kept reaching out to the Supernote. And bizarrely, like really bizarrely for me, purchasing the Tab Ultra pushed me away from Boox devices and pushed me towards a competitor, and now that one is starting to transition to become my main driver, and it's actually becoming more and more of a complete experience, and I miss less and less things from the Boox platform, which is most definitely, you know, a sharp turn from a direction that I did not expect whatsoever. So what's the conclusion for me regarding all of this? What will I do? I have no idea. I am fortunate enough that I have the Tab X and the Tab Ultra, but for the review purposes, I don't need two Tab devices, right? To keep you guys informed with the latest updates and things like that. Well, I have the Tab X. I'm not gonna change it. I love it, and it's an amazing device. It works perfectly. It's unlike this thing. So I end up using Tab X for the speed and performance and all of that kind of stuff, and the real estate. So why would I need the Tab Ultra? And I think that I'm leaning towards the decision that I'm most likely going to be selling the Tab Ultra, sticking with my Tab X, and waiting to see if there's going to be an Air refresh line of the devices, so that maybe, just maybe, I get the excitement, the pizzazz, the inspiration, all of the stuff that Note Air gave me and that Note Air 2 is able to give. I hope that we get to have that and the GPU unit inside and no stupid cameras or things like that. So that's my hope. Whether or not that's gonna happen or not, we will see. But until then, I have the awesome Tab X to actually satisfy all of the needs. But I just wanted to share my own personal thoughts and experience regarding the awesome Tab Ultra. It's, make no question about it, it's an amazing device. And you're gonna be hard pressed to find a better performing, it's better performing than the Tab X. It's faster, has better ghosting, has better image quality, has an SD card slot, it has all of these things. But yet, it has a lot of negatives, and those negatives are, in my case, strong enough that I simply don't even want to use it. Unfortunately for me, because I'm missing out on all of the awesomeness that it has to offer. So there you go. Surprising turn for me, definitely. And that's why I wanted to share this with you guys so that I can hear also from your experience, from those who have purchased the Tab Ultra. Is it your first Boox device? What's your experience? What's your impression? Because I'm absolutely certain that there's going to be other people who are going to say like, no way, for me, this is like the one that's so much better and it suits me fine and I don't mind any of these issues. It's actually much better for me. And to you, I say excellent, great, because then you are able to fully enjoy the magnificent device and the performance and all the functionalities that the Tab Ultra undeniably delivers. There's no question about that. But for me personally, I'm not able to go past these, and I end up not using it. And why would I have it if I'm not going to use it? I hope that you found the video interesting. I would like to hear also from you like a discussion about these things. How much does it matter to you whether or not you can form a connection with the device? Does it matter at all? Does it matter not at all? Does it matter a lot? For me, it's an a lot category. I need to have a connection with a device because then it makes me happy to use it and things like that. But it has to be a healthy balance between inspiration and feeling inspired to use a device and the device being usable and very, very able to fit most of the needs that I have. So it's, the want and need kind of a balance. So what's it like for you? Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!